I showed you the the mountains of Peru before because it's a fundamental part of our today's point. So we proceed and back to monologue with lifestyle as medicine, point number 3, which is our environment defines our health and well-being. What do I mean? We are energy, right? We're also body, but we have energy centers and we have an aura, and this aura interacts with our surroundings as much as these surroundings interact with us. You will see that people, for example, when people come to the teacher trainings or to the retreats and they are out of their environment, they come with one face, and when they leave, they have a different face. Doesn't mean better or worse, it just means that they are in a different environment, and their physicality, their health, their digestion, metabolism, the way they look, the lymphatic system changes because they are in a different place. Just an example how our environment can, manifest in us. And changing my environment has been one of the biggest things and also most difficult things I had to do over the years, as I'm sure you will understand. The first part is the people, our relationships, like the way we relate to others shows the way we relate to ourselves. And sometimes we stay comfortable in certain friendships or relationships because of the emotional attachment, which is a natural human thing to have. You love these people even if you know that like maybe you don't have much to share anymore. And an example I want to do with this is when I was living in Berlin my first years, I had this crazy group of friends and we would party a lot and go to the art exhibitions and like take substances and all of that. I was like 22. And then I met my teacher, my Kambo teacher, and started to work with the medicines. And at one point he said, I don't think this environment is good for you anymore. And I knew already since a while because I had stopped consuming, and there were more moments where I was with these other friends feeling maybe out of place, just like, without the substances and the love for like partying for 3 days in a row, we have little to nothing to share. And it was hard. It took months because I loved them. They were my friends. They had been my friends for so long. However, when I finally made the step of not engaging with that environment anymore, I had made space for like new friends and new things to come in. So for other people, this may be or look a little, much harder because it maybe means marriage with children, with a business together, how to manage that. So it doesn't happen overnight. Like the first and most important thing to do is, and the first thing that really helps in this kind of processes is realizing something is not working. With all honesty, be like, I'm not ready to leave yet, but something is not working for me. And then sit and pray and know that universe listens. The gods, the spirits, well, a great spirit, whatever you want to call it, the energies out there, our supporters, our ancestors, they are with us. But what they respond to is clarity. When there is confusion, I don't know, maybe a little like this is confusing, right? Then universe is like, I don't know what to serve you. Because you're not knowing it yourself. Universe can't take decisions for us. So we can sit and be like, this is not working for me. I need help. I need support. And I promise you, help and support will come. Something will happen to trigger a change. This is another example I wanted to do. Is my big life crash, and I was about to do a masterclass about it. Now I'm postponing because it's a very, very delicate subject and I need more time. But I was forced to completely be removed from an environment that was my safety net, also my job, my economic safety, and suddenly it was ripped away for whatever reason. And it was so painful, but it was something like I already knew that was not right for me anymore. We didn't have the same ethics, we didn't have the same views. I had all the time to like shape shift in order to adapt and save my space in that environment, and I was not brave to make the change, and universe kicked me out in that way. This is what I mean, that is help. Like life crises and crashes sometimes are actually help. So watch out what you pray for. No, um there are always options. Like sometimes is about laziness or lack of courage or motivation, or because we are already so deep into the darkness and depression that like making a final step into change and leaving a relationship can feel so overwhelming and difficult. That's why I say like the biggest lie is praying and truly praying, like talking to yourself, like expressing it out, like I need help and support to remove myself from this. Because truly, the longer you stay in an unhealthy environment, the more you're gonna trigger your nervous system to be in chronic stress, flight or fight all the time, and this eventually is gonna make you sick. Like physical sicknesses come when we don't pay attention to our emotions. Like in the body, the only way that is left is like scream. And the same, and I'm gonna keep it short now, is the environment where you live. Like in terms, where do you decide to be, like in a noisy, chaotic city, or maybe more close to nature? Like a lot of humanity has forgotten about living in nature, because yes, living in a city is more comfortable. Like even me here in the Sacred Valley, like if I lived in the town, I would work more, I could rent a studio there, it's much more accessible. It has happened to me that I get clients that want a body treatment, and then I tell them I live in Moscow, which is where I live, in the middle of nowhere on the mountain, and they're like, oh fuck, it's a bit too far. And I lost clients for that, you know. But do I compromise? No, because I did that. I did 10 years in a metropole like Berlin, which is huge, and maybe for you people in India it's not, because you're used to huge cities. But for me, like, Berlin is a very big city in Europe, and I did that experience and it served me at that point. Now what I need is waking up with what you saw, like the silence, the birds, the nature, the trees, and that allows me to have like a better life, so that I can be more productive, sleep better. And again, this doesn't have to happen overnight, of course. Like how to live a like 10-year long home, yeah, with slowly. In Berlin, my apartment, it took me 2 years to leave it. I was subletting it first, I was still attached to it. I was like, but what if, and then, you know, finally after 2 years I was already, I'm not here. Like I'm living in India, and I have this fucking thing that is like bothering me, and it's so much paperwork, and like taking care and having my foot in one place and the other foot in the other. So you know what I mean. Grade and shade the decisions that you take, but start to put the step. And the first step is awareness, realizing you need a different environment. I love you wherever you are, and I will see you soon.